obvious big gainer. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now Wentz. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
On the ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. On the carry, it's Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st down, Weaver. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now this throw caught left side. 12 yards there. 1st down Vikings. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Score! No. Hey, rock.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2nd and 9 now. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. And Tucson. Hey, exit.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Let's go, D. 49's the Mike. Watch 49. Here we go.
Now.
Operating from the gun, Weaver. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 6-yard.
So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
6-6. Pull it hard. Two. Let's go.
From the gun, Weaver. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll try and throw for it. And that is caught for the 2 points. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. On 1st and 10, Weaver. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Watch out. Tight end right.
Now Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen.
A final shot before break. Weaver. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wentz on the give to Sanders. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing is Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders. His third touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Break.
Mike 49. Your track.
5.
49 to Mike. 49 to Mike.
Check 2.
Looking to throw on second down. Weaver. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun. Weaver. He wants it all for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Wentz to throw. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go. Let's go, D. Hey, empty.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Let's go. 50, plant.
49's the mic. Rip left, rip left.
Hey, box truck.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Here we go.
Deep grip.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Weaver lets it fly for Thielen, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd and long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
We got 3.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Tremont Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to play. Oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter.
Hey, high 7.
On 2nd and 1, Wentz. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
X3, 218, chop.
Again, it's Smith. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Weaver, left side here, taken in by Metcalf. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Smith. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A 59-yard attempt.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They'll be pumped from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a dump off here complete, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Wentz. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Robertson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Watch twist.
61, match box.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flush to his right. Allen's got it complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, rip on 2, on here.
57's Mike 57. Wild Bill. Check 15, check 15.
Let's go, Greg.
Wentz now on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They begin with a run by Smith. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go back to the ground with Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Go! 90 Wolf!
Let him know.
On third down, Smith. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over 1 minute to go in the game. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So the